What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Ohio State Postgame on MarkRogersTV, featuring your favorite boys from Best Damn Media. Got Mike in here with me. We in here, Ohio State, with a 38-3 performance against Michigan State. Came out, took care of business early, what we would expect them to do. Finally, a fast start, by this team. But we'll jump into our reactions for that. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like. Sub. We need to blow this channel up. We're here every post game, after the game. Smash that like button, like Mike said, and we're good to go, man. A stress-free, Saturday night for the first time in a long time. Mike, I'll start with you just overall before we really jump into it. How was your Saturday wrapping up here with a 38-3 victory?
Hey, man, my Saturday was relaxed, for all smiles, man. Just feeling good vibes, as they say. And as my guy C-Ball said, don't mess up my Saturday. So shout out C-Ball, man.
Well, for once, they did not. In the chat, if you're in here, just throw me your one-liners from the game. Let me know give me your one-line thoughts. Obviously a good performance and good to see us start fast. Yeah, man. So I'll start with that 38-3. We know Michigan State is not a good football team, and what you do not do is play with your food. You come out, you establish yourself early. Let me get your take, Mike, on the fast start by Ohio State here. It's what we all wanted to see. We finally get it. What are your thoughts?
Man, that's exactly what we've been wanting to see. Everybody's been saying, the defense has been having to hold up and allow Kyle to get in the rhythm. It was just great for him to just show that he can have some confidence, because there is no reason to look at all of these skilled guys around you and not be confident. It was just good to see confidence, good to see him. You actually, they kept going back to his footwork. And I want to also shout out Zeke, because Zeke was very heavy in the spaces talking about, look at Kyle's footwork. And you can see the transformation. And when they were zooming in on his feet, he really looked poised, looked like he was making the right steps. And what were we always saying? This offense could get a fast start if, one, he'd hit people in stride, and two, he just make accurate passes and hit the guys that are wide open.
Yeah, no, 100%. It all starts with the quarterback. We talked ad nauseum about the weapons we had on this offense, and to our dismay, we haven't really seen it early all season. And I think the biggest question about Ohio State is, if we ever get into a shootout, can they answer the bell on offense? And you look like, wait, Marvin Harrison Jr., Megaboo, Travion Henderson, Cade Stover's at the party, Carnell Tate, all these guys, and there's no way we should not be able to put up a massive amount of points. Ryan Day, one of the best play callers in college football, as he's established himself. So definitely early on. But before we even hop into Kyle McCord, man, I want to start with your guy, Marvin Harrison Jr. Obviously opens the game with a couple touchdowns, and it's really sort of they're pushing him really for this Heisman campaign, and definitely Biletnikoff. I think this was the Biletnikoff game of we're getting him that trophy.
Yeah.
Ohio State, we never win awards, but we're getting Marvin Harrison Jr. I want to start with him, man. Marv, with another big time game. What's your impressions of that?
Well, that's one thing that I've always said about Ryan Day, man. He does always try to get them awards, and I hate when he chases awards, but Marv definitely deserves it after the past couple years, and then especially just him being a good sport and sticking through, it's been a rough offensive, output this season, compared to what he went through last year. So I really hope that he's able to get the Biletnikoff. I think the Heisman, man, is kind of already a little bit too far, for him to try to get it. And, the last person to get it was Devontae Smith, but that was just during a crazy year. And also Alabama just had one of the best offensive teams out there. So, that's a special circumstance type award. And then also before that, back in the day when you would win it, you had to return kicks and stuff like that too. So, I just don't see him doing that.
He's making a solid push here, and now we got some shit. Give me your one-liners from the Michigan Penn State game, Michigan fans. If you ain't here, we'll maybe touch on that later in because that does have big implication on the Big Ten, and we're all looking for the Thanksgiving weekend matchup. But on Marv, man, he has to get the Biletnikoff at this point. Like, you can't have so many great receivers come through and not at least get one. Like, can we have one trophy? Right. I love guys around the nation. There's a lot of wide receivers that ball out. But we've had too many first rounders to not get one. So the Heisman is way out there. He'll never get that. It's a quarterback award, and you have to be Devontae Smith to go. Like, you have to go crazy. But to get the Biletnikoff, obviously put up the stats, and he's doing that over 1,000 yards in this game. I think he's up to 12, 13 touchdowns now. Is it around there? I'm not sure where he's at, but I know he's up there because he's been having 2 every game, it feels like. So he's up there somewhere. But yeah, it's a solid game by him. I love the handoff, the end around. I'm like, okay, it's something new. We haven't really seen it ran by Marv before, so I love to see that. And on his third one, Kyle McCord just sees the matchup and puts up one of the better balls I've seen this season. That one he had to him and Cade Stover in the end zone. Those 2 really good balls that they threw. So
right.
Marv is going on his campaign, and more wishes to him. We got to get this trophy. But paling off there, let's get the Kyle McCord you talked about earlier on. A good performance by Kyle. We've been looking for. I talked about this level up. We talked about it on Buckeye BS. I've talked about it with Ron in the morning shows on Buckeye Roast. Like, I'm looking at this level up for Kyle. His footwork looked like it leveled up. I don't know what they did this week. I don't know who came to the Woody. I don't know if Tom Brady stopped by or Peyton Manning just walked through the stadium or something happened, but his footwork looked good. In the chat, give me your impressions of Kyle McCord this game and how he looks. So, Mike, I'll let you take it from there. Kyle, man, tell me about
him. Man, I'll say this. I'm glad that we saw this out of Kyle. But I want to see him be more consistent. You know what I'm saying? And then also, he came out, slung that ball to Marv, man, going down the field. I want to see more of that. I kind of want to see Ryan Day actually, begin to open this mug even up vertically because I think that if his footwork is like that and he's going to be accurate, especially like that ball that he threw to Marv down the field, multiple times, why not? Why not go ahead and start doing the stuff that you was doing and calling those plays that you was calling with CJ Stroud? So, hey, great game from McCord. I hope that this can, be that game where he can say, hey, now I have the confidence. Because I don't want them to pan to him going into the Team Up North game and him looking as nervous as he did it in the Penn State game. So just keep on, McCord, man. Great job, great game.
Yeah, man. Kyle, I'll give you his stats for everybody. 24-31, 335 yards, 3 touchdowns. Something you expect. This Michigan State team doesn't really have a pulse. We know they had a freshman matched up against Marv a few times there, which is just like almost criminal to put him out there and say, hey, best receiver in the nation, go cover him. But did what we needed to do, and Kyle's footwork looked great. That pass to Marv, if you remember, between the corner and the safety, we see him throw a pick on that earlier in the year, but he set his feet, drove it, and got it to Marv. And that was my favorite probably throw of the day, where I'm like, okay, like, I see you mess up on this earlier in the season. Now you're looking a lot better with it, just comfortable. And yeah, man, I mean, we're probably never going to be able to open it up with CJ Stroud because I don't know when another CJ is going to walk through that door.
Right.
That's something we didn't know CJ was going to be CJ when he walked through the door. We were hoping for another, Dwayne Haskins or Justin Fields. But yeah, man, if he can just give this offense just enough juice and continue to make those throws and give guys a chance. I mean, I trust any guy on this roster really, especially with our top two, if one-on-one situations to go win. So if he could just put the ball in a place where it's like our guy can, make a 50-50 ball and win it, I'm good with it. His footwork looks a lot better. He looked comfortable. I mean, this is a team we should roll over, but just there's something to be said about momentum and confidence and keeping it rolling forward. The way the season has gone, it doesn't seem like it's built a lot of confidence, but this is a game where you can stay and say, okay, my footwork was good. I saw, let me keep it trending to Minnesota next week and then Michigan the game after that. So definitely a good performance by him. He couldn't ask for much better and love to see that going forward. And I know we had a super chat in here, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Yeah, Sean, appreciate the 5, man. Definitely appreciate you. Nice workmanlike business trip. Can X be a real wrinkle in the running game against top competition? Mike, I'll let you go first on that one.
Yeah, honestly, we've seen X be that last year in the Georgia game when we were low on running backs. We've seen what he can do. I really like his bursting, and it's just where Trey, he also can have that burst mixed in with a little bit of that running back power style. And then when you bring in XJ, that's just another change of pace, something that those defenses have to actually game plan on. And when you get XJ, for some reason, that man know how to wiggle his way all through a secondary and everything. So I like what XJ brings to this team, and I think maybe we might need to see a little bit more of him.
Yeah, he definitely brings something different. I think maybe he was just unfortunately born maybe 4 years too late because he would have really ate the Urban Meyer offense.
Oh, for sure.
Era we loved, especially players, and Ryan Day doesn't really tend to those guys, which I complain about a little bit because I'm like, okay, we talk about a guy like Jaden Ballard. Like, if you have a guy with a special trait, just feature it and work with it. I mean, I think that's what great offensive coordinators do. Ryan Day doesn't necessarily do that, but we've seen guys like Lincoln Riley, guys around the nation, really will take a guy who can't do a lot well, but does something really well and use it. So I would love to see X involved a little more. I love what they did today. Obviously, this is Michigan State, so this is probably one of the worst teams we've played in the season. But we've seen it produce against Georgia. I mean, we've seen it was a run against Indiana last year that was absolutely insane. I mean, we've seen X do it against anybody we line up against. So definitely have some feature in his scheme to his capabilities. I would love to see it. And we seen him in Michigan last year. He had some good plays in there. So he definitely can do it. Ryan Day just going to have to scheme it up for him. And I would love to see it. So thank you, Sean. Thank you for the 5. Really appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. So talking about this offense, offensive line, let's get a touch on them. Obviously, Trey, I'll give you his stats. Trey, 13 carries, 63 yards, along with 13 in the touchdown. Not a crazy game from him, but a lot of good runs. And it was kind of solid blocking, and then get Trey clobbered sometimes. So a little inconsistency from this offensive line, but they have got better. They didn't have a terrible game. Kyle McCord, I felt like at times had all day just throw the ball. So I would say this is a B game from the offensive line. But give me your thoughts on them.
Yeah, offensive line, I feel like they just continue to be a little bit. I say they continue to be, good, not great, but they are getting better. Like the run game, I would like to see a little bit more consistency out of that. But I mean, they're still being consistent in the pass game, giving Kyle a lot of time back there. So I can't complain about that. But with that running game, I just feel like we could be a little bit more dominant because once that run game is able to be consistent, and we wear on teams, there's just no limit to where this team could actually be.
Yeah, man, I think the offensive line has improved. I gave Justin Fry a lot of credit, for this is not a very talented offensive line where you would want to see at Ohio State, but they are playing as well as you can almost ask for them. I thought they were very solid. I had questions in the past game coming into the season. They've done really well. Obviously, the run game has been more the work in progress where you thought they would eat, but another good game by them. I love seeing Kyle get time to dish it out and make plays and just get a little more consistency. That's all we're asking for, but I can't ask much more than they provided, this season. I think they've played very well against anybody. So definitely impressed by them. Want to see what the chat's talking about real quick while we have men here. And Will says, McCord knows he was limping after the game, concerning or no. I didn't see the limp, Mike. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you did, what do you think going forward? I know he was a little banged up coming into the game, but
Yeah. He's
Kyle
been
McCord
dealing
almost.
with he's been dealing with a little ankle thing anyways. And at the end of the game, he wasn't really in the game. Lincoln King hosts have been going in and everything. And so, once the adrenaline starts to wear off and all of that stuff, you start to kind of feel them little aches, and then you might have them little limps and stuff like that. Like, I don't know about you, Q, but I remember I could walk off that field with my uniform on normal, but there's something about when I got out that locker room and I'm going to that car, man, I had a little limp with everything. Yeah, so I think that's just normal football wear and tear, man.
Yeah, nah, man. I remember like post game, I used to leave the game sometimes about an hour later, and I'm like, damn, who hit me?
Yeah.
Somebody lift me up, and I don't remember.
Right.
But yeah, man, I think he'll be fine, man. Nothing noticeably crazy. I think you worry about those injuries where guys go down and got to kind of come out the game noticeably. Usually, if it's something banged up, like Kyle. He knows we left limping before a couple games ago, and he hasn't missed a snap yet. So
Right.
I think he'll be fine rolling forward. I see both Will and Sean pointed out Cody Simon in this one. I will get to the defense a little later, but Cody Simon, I thought he had a solid game, man. Nothing crazy for me, but he make tackles, be in space. Definitely looked like he knew where he was supposed to be. Let me get your quick thoughts on Cody Simon. We'll jump to defense a little later, but go ahead.
Yeah, Cody Simon, just being consistently Cody Simon, man. He was making plays. I like the way he was, coming up and making those tackles while he was in space. I thought that was key. There was nothing that I was really expecting to see from Michigan State to test us, in the past game, because, like I've been saying, I was worried about the linebackers, even Cody Simon, in the pass coverage. But, honestly, he really did good in pass coverage today. So, I still got to give him kudos, regardless. It's a D1 team, regardless that's a quarterback out there who was recruited to play D1. So, got to give Cody Simon all his flowers. He came in here, wasn't supposed to be the guy. And now he has to be the guy, and he's stepping up and doing exactly what he's supposed to do. No drop off. What's the Buckeyes motto? We don't rebuild, we reload. So
yeah, man, good keep it rolling. Good game. Coach Simon will jump deep a little later. Guy, I have to touch on it. Be criminal not to. Cade Stover, man, comes back. I'm gonna give you his stats real quick. Cade Stover. Oh, I gotta go down. I think 7 catches. Yeah, 7 catches, 79 yards, 1 touchdown. Longest catch about 20 yards. Man, put on his best Vernon Davis impression, man.
Man.
Tell me about Cade Stover.
Yeah, it just looked like, we know Cade Stover is out there playing hurt, and just the toughness, his work ethic and his drive and his love for Ohio State, man. And this is just what we had always been talking about, like in the offseason. Them Ohio guys, for some reason, they're just different, because nobody expected Cade Stover to be doing what he's doing. This guy was supposed to be a linebacker coming in when he came to Ohio State, and now you're talking about he might be one of the top tight ends in the country, maybe a day 3 pick at tight end. I just got to give Cade Stover all his flowers, because that just goes to show all the work that he put in the offseason, and you're just watching it translate on the field. And you heard about the extra work that he went through with Keenan Bailey on the routes and catching. You're seeing it, because he's making those tough catches that I criticized him last year for not making.
Yeah, man, definitely. Shout out to Coach Key getting tight ends right. Coach Key, basically a wide receiver guy, so he was going to have guys right with the routes. And you see the development from both him and G. Scott. We didn't see G. Scott as much. He played, but not as much of a feature in this game with Cade back. Obviously, Cade took 7 catches, so he was taking everybody's cookies. Like, nah, I missed a week. I need to get mine back for last week. Yeah, shout out to Coach Key and Cade with another big-time game. I gave a big apology to Cade in the middle of the season, because I'm like, man, I don't know I need to watch some like Cade Stover film. I don't know how he's always open. I don't know what he does in his route. He's not like an explosive guy where I just feel like routes people up, but he's always open. So you can't,
Right.
whatever he's doing is working. Another big time game. I thought the best ball probably of the day, in my opinion, was Kyle's back shoulder throw to Cade, getting him away from the linebacker, and that catch was a great throw by him. But Cade, reliable man, efficient. Definitely good to have him back. Hopefully he keeps his health and don't push guys too hard. And Minnesota is not a team that really should threaten us next week, and have him ready because we're going to need that. We're going to need all hands on deck in a couple weeks here. So definitely look forward to that. And yeah, man, Cade's playing himself into maybe a mid-round pick here. I don't know if he'll be a second or third rounder, but I think like fourth, fifth is where you want to look for him because he's having a really good season. So definitely had to shout him out, man. And let me get your thoughts on the before we jump around a little bit and we'll hop over to the defense. We came out in the all gray first time with the alternate. I am a hard critic on these jerseys. I think Ohio State is a lot of time very lazy with these alternates. But give me your thoughts. All gray coming out. Night game. What you think?
Hey, coaches used to tell you back in the day, man, go to the barbershop, go get your hair cut, man. When you show up, make sure you have your swag on, man. When you look good, what do? You play good. And them players, man, they was you just seen them tweeting about it. All of it was trending. You even had I seen a content creator that's a Texas fan was talking about, man, I wish we would come out in some drip like this, man. And what did you do with your team? They came out looking good. They came out playing good. So for all you traditionalists that hate when Ohio State do this, let them boys be boys, man. Because we need that swag back. Because look at this team. It's a different team when they got that swag. So allow them. Screw the traditionalists. Let them have these alternate uniforms.
Yeah, man. The all gray looks smooth, man. I'm a hard critic on the jersey. I think, and everybody loves the all black. I think the all black jersey is one of the laziest uniforms I think I've seen. But the gray, there's something about gray, man. And then fun fact, silver is actually my favorite color. I think it just looks smooth, man. I would love to see it paired maybe with that other gray helmet that we had, that gray with the more dark Buckeyes, kind of the
like
blackish.
The chrome?
Yeah, I think that would look clean if I could have my pick. But no, I thought it was clean. I thought it looked good. I mean, the guys came out, they wore it with the gray socks as well. So it was a nice look, man. It was a nice look. So let's bump it up on some of the other uniforms, like the black one. Throw a little more razzle dazzle on there, and we good to go.
I was disappointed for the all scarlet, like the fans were supposed to wear all red, but the team didn't. Like I thought the all scarlet uniforms would have been nasty, bro.
Yeah, man, I like it. I think it could maybe have some tweaks in it to make it pop a little more. But
bro, you is extra, man. This Mr. We gonna start calling you Mr. Louis V. Mr. Louis V, what do you think today, Louis
Hey, Nike Ohio State. You get called, I get us right now. I'm gonna have us out there like Oregon. Everybody talk Oregon every week. I have us looking like that. If you give me a call, man, I'll hold it down, man. I'm multi-talented. I can do it all. Yeah, man. But no, the all gray did look slick, man. So let's jump into the defense side of the ball. I guess, bro, it's hard to criticize this defense when you give up 3 points. Like it's very Michigan State, not a great team. They're 3-7 now, but it's hard to criticize. But solid performance by the defense. I thought the secondary, again, even with the replacements at safety, looked very solid. Jermaine Matthews, again, popped out to me. Desmond Igbinosun had a good game as well. I saw Burke just get beat one time, and they were like, well, that's enough of that. We're shutting that down after that. And then so let's start with the safeties. Again, Sonny Styles, Malik Hartford step into a big-time road night game. What do you think about the safeties, and we'll work our way up from there?
Man, I feel like people in our fan base and also our coaches think that, the guys are supposed to go in there and not make mistakes, right? But you end up seeing a young freshman, Malik Hartford, go out there and you just continue to see him get better. And you're just like, man, if he has that play again, you can tell he's probably going to pick that ball off, right? And you can just tell the difference in game reps versus practice reps, because those game reps is what's going to build your confidence to let you know that you can do that every single time. And I just feel like this was a game where Malik Hartford was able to build that confidence, but then also, again, I need to understand why my guy Perry Eliano was not getting his bonus and was not the guy who got a raise, because he's developing out here. And I mean, I love what the safeties are doing, and I just feel like my guy Sonny Styles coming down there looking like he a young Darren Lee out there or something like that, at Ohio State. Let me clarify. But I mean, I love what our safeties is doing. And you just will see the more and more reps that they have, the better they'll get. Now, I will say you can tell that there is some experience being missed, not having Proctor out there and not having Latham out there.
Yeah, man, safeties look good. And if you've been watching Mike for a while, man, you might as well get your shot glass out, because he's going to find a way to pull a Darren Lee reference somewhere in the show. We talking safeties, and somehow Darren Lee gets brought up with great safety play. Nah, man, Malik Hartford looked good. I thought he got hosed on that PI call. That's one of the worst calls I've seen this season. I was like, he's not even really touching the guy. A little hand fighting, but
right.
It's football, bro. Like let's go. So I thought he played extremely well. Again, grows and you see it. Guys, when they first get out there, and I saw a little bit of CJ Higgs we'll touch on in a minute. But, when they first get out there, things are moving fast. But the more you play, it starts to slow down. And then you start to see guys like, okay, I don't look confused anymore. I know where to go. I'm going. And when they started to play with that confidence, you really see it. Sonny Styles is a guy, most definitely, who's been playing with confidence since he stepped on the field earlier this season, man. Just shooting gaps. Man, I don't know how we continue to play without him. Maybe Lathan Ransom's out now, but if Lathan Ransom was healthy, I'm like, bro, this guy hasn't started linebacker. He's like too good in the box not to have him play. And he's good in coverage too, not to have him close to the line of scrimmage, just wreaking havoc. Another really good game by him. I thought the safeties played very well, man. You can't ask much more for them. Perry Eliano, again, I had questions about Perry Allen. I'm like, is he coaching the right position? We see what he did with Sauce Gardner. He had Kobe Bryant, who won the Thorpe Award. I'm like, bro, he could be the best cornerbacks coach in the nation, but we have him a little bit out of position. The safeties didn't look great at the end of last season. But comes back and says, you know what, Q, I'm going to shut you up, man. Watch what my safeties do this season. And so far, so good. The starters, the backups, anybody who gets that S by their name has played outstanding. So maybe I need to go suit back up, put that S by my name, and go play. See if I can make a practice squad or something.
Yeah.
But man, those guys are having a year. Kai Stokes, glad to see guys just get more reps. And next season, even with losing guys, I'm not worried about the safety position much at all. Hopefully, I don't know the status on Lathan Ransom. I know somebody brought up, he's having a year, man. He might be out. He might be back. I don't know yet, so I can't tell you. But the guys have continued to ball out, and Perry Allen is playing for that. He needs that Parker Fleming raise, man. He needs Parker Fleming.
Yeah.
Go ahead and double him over. It is playing great. So going from safeties to go to the cornerback room. Another good game from Jermaine Matthews, who I mentioned earlier on. Burke is back. Look good this game. Igmanosa, Jordan Hancock, who I told Ron, we talked about the halftime space. He's a pro, man. I told you he's a pro. Just finally getting healthy and playing good ball. So what was your impression of the cornerback room?
I'm head over heels in the cornerback room, man. I love cornerback play, and I love what Tim Martin is bringing to this cornerback room, and then just all the things that you're hearing in recruiting, and you just feel like, man, BIA is actually back, because you just remember you go from, man, almost every single year, first round. Then you go, Jeff Okuda after, what was that, the 2019 season?
Yeah.
Or was that the 2020 season he left?
No, 2019.
No, 2019 season. So after 2019, he didn't have nobody in the first round in 2020. Nobody 2021. Nobody 2022. Nobody in the 2023 draft. So, like, that's that's a lot of years that as Ohio State fans, we have became accustomed to that. So I really feel like, Denzel Burke could be one of those, maybe a late first rounder, mid first round corner. And then honestly, I think you'll start seeing guys, top first round, mid first round, start coming out consistently at Ohio State again. I just think that we need to make sure that we go ahead, pay Tim Walton, allow him to get comfortable, let him know, like, hey, man, there's no reason for you to go anywhere. Make this your home again officially. Like, make it your home. Don't flirt with the NFL. No, none of that. Just here's the bread. Your house paid off.
we got to get you a new car, get you all
yeah. Go get the wife something. Yeah, go get the wife a gift too.
Yeah, like Chuck Montana was saying, man, like the young DBs, man. Definitely the talent in this room. We see a lot of guys have to walk out the door, and I thought some of those guys can play, but you can't complain with what was been sorted in this DB room and where it's looking at right now. You got the young guys chopping at the bit. We got a Calvin Simpson Hunt, sighting today.
Mm-hmm.
You notice the most dreads on the team, so he's not a guy you can really miss.
At all.
Yeah, he was out there, and just seeing these young guys play, get experience. This room is in a really good place, and you would think, like, we fast forward to next season, we got a bunch of guys who are just already ready to go, and that's a great feeling to have. So hopefully we stay healthy in the secondary room. The cornerbacks played extremely well, didn't give up a lot, really at all, which they shouldn't to this team, and they did what they're supposed to do. So you cannot complain there. Just keep it trending, keep the health, and get all hands on deck, like I said, for 2 weeks. So the linebacker room. Tony, Lord, Tommy Eichenberg. I was about to say Cody Simon. Tommy Eichenberg, man, Mr. All-American was out this game. He had to rest those thumbs, for a week here. We get him back soon. But Cody Simon steps in, still chambers. What's your impression of them in the linebacker room? I thought they were decent. Cody Simon was getting a lot of love. I thought he had a solid game. Nothing crazy, nothing bad, which is good. So I thought they had a solid game. But what's your impression on them?
Yeah, linebackers, just been, normal linebacker play so far throughout the year. Like you said, nothing crazy. It's not what I would say is not up to Ohio State standard of linebacker play when you think about the guys that we've actually put out and put in the draft, like guys like Baron Browning, who we didn't even know how to use, but Joshua Perry when he was here at Ohio State and just what he was doing, we just don't seem to have that right now. So, I would like for us to get that, but again, like I said, I do think that we have those guys. Just got to get them reps.
Yeah, man, not a lot of Jerome Bakers walking around.
Yeah.
Even guys,
or Raekwon McMillan.
Yeah, the guys like that, we haven't seen them in a while. But the linebacker room at this position, this is Jim Knowles' specialty. He leveled them up extremely from what we were dealing with in 2021, where they were not great at all and really crippling the team. Now it's just like, hey, just don't lose us the game. Get a little better in pass coverage, be solid, don't miss tackles, and we're good to go. And that's what they did. So shout out to Steele and Cody had a very solid game. I thought they played well. I would like to see them a little bit faster on the pursuit, but I didn't think they were bad at all, man. I have no complaints about them. And better in cover. We've seen them exposed a lot in coverage, and in this game they were solid. They were where they needed to be. And I'm definitely filling gaps, so the quarterback just couldn't hit those slants and things like that. So that was a solid game by them. We did get both a Gabe Powers and CJ Hicks signing, guys. We've been really excited to see. Give me your impressions, man. CJ Hicks got a good amount of playing time, and he played most of the second half. What was your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I like seeing him get out there. There's definitely things that he needs to work on, but that's the point of getting them out there. There's reps, there's things that they need to, build their confidence, show that they can do it in the game. And that's part of building the confidence, part of, building the repertoire of a linebacker on the Division I level, because it's really levels to this. And a lot of people and like I said, I think our coaching staff think that these guys need to come out and be perfect all the time. And that's not the case, man. Like, you just see what Caleb Downs just continues to freaking do, man. And I mean, we saw him at the very beginning of the year just making mistake after mistake, but when you allow them to do that and you're able to coach that up and you're really able to have someone who's able to be a leader, and that helps going forward, because think about this. He's going to, like, CJ Hicks is going to be a veteran next year. He's going to be a 3-year player, right? But what is he going to be able to teach the other guys behind him?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have those game reps. So that's where I just feel like that kind of like, I want to see them out there more. So I'm glad we was able to get them out there. Now our offense got to continue to do those things for them to get out there a little bit more.
Yeah, man, it's good to see. I thought earlier on when he first stepped to the game, he was a little slow, looked a little confused, kind of waiting for things to happen. But as the game went on, you started to see that the reaction and filling gaps. He made a couple tackles there. You see the athleticism. Has all the tools, man, to be a great linebacker. I mean, I don't know if you need to put, Tommy's mind in his heart. Just go play fast and be who you are. But Hicks will get it, man. It's good to see him. Like you said, the yellow talent. We just got to develop him, and that's on Ohio State at this point. Gabe Powers is another, man, all the talent in the world. And the crazy thing is, like, the linebackers this year, very veteran, big guys have been around a while, probably know everything they need to do. Next year, we get that upflux of talent of, like, we're going to probably be the most talented the linebacker room has been in a while. Even if Cody Simon comes back, he's a top 100 player. Reed Carrico's a top 100 player. CJ Hicks, Gabe Powers, both top 100 players. Like, that's going to be the most talented the linebacker room has been maybe since like a 2018 or so. It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time.
Play is going to be a top 100 player. So definitely got to get these guys reps, get them in the flow. And this is going to be a big-time offseason for the linebackers and a big-time offseason for Jim Knowles and his recruitment, because we've seen a struggle on the trail with that position. And if you can get these guys looking like freak shows out there, people are going to be like, wait, they can do, okay, I want to go to Ohio State and do that as well. So something I'm looking forward to. Let's touch on the defensive line. I know we had a little struggle in the run game. I didn't think it was all on the defensive line, but Cam pointed out these guys were a little bit getting out their gap, a little undisciplined, maybe chasing some sacks. Let me get your overall impression. I don't think they had a bad game, and it's only Michigan State, so it's kind of hard to have a bad game, but didn't look great all the time. So let me get your impression on them.
Well, I think that there's an issue there, because, I mean, Mike Hall talked about it in his press conference about, they was asking him, hey, why did they take you out? Have to put Ty Hamilton in there. And he admitted, he gets out of his gaps and hasn't been as gap disciplined. And we heard about this last year. And I just feel like these guys have to go ahead, lock in, get it together. Now, I said, hey, I can give them a pass, right? Because our defense has really been, locked in, going crazy. So if they take a week off, if they take the day off, I'm not going to go crazy on them right now. But I just hope that when it's the big game, they're locked in, they're disciplined, and being gap sound.
Yeah, man. And Mike Hall, he's a lighter guy, so he struggles to hold double teams. Understandably, I think he's only plays at about 275. So that is not a weight to hold a double team at all. That's a Tyleik Williams or a Hero Canoe or a Ty Hamilton more like role there. Mike Hall is the guy. He might be the best pass rusher on the team. I mean, maybe a Kenyatta Jackson will give him a little comp there, but that's what we've known him for. We've known him to really beat a guy into the gap and really disrupt things back there. And I think he's solid in run defense. I don't think it's his specialty. I think he's better being a 3-tech more in pass coverage. But yeah, man, these guys have to be solid and in their gap. And I thought last week with Rutgers obviously got off to a really good run game. I thought it was a little more on the linebackers. I didn't think they quite, what I call it, sorting through the garbage as well as they could, where the gap was there. And you see Steele and Tommy next to each other. You're like, well, that's not good. And there's a big gap there. So I think last week was a little more of a linebackers problem. This week, maybe a little more of a defensive line, but not teams that are really threatening us or shouldn't. So they have to have it in sorts. And I think the game plan is going to be a lot different against Michigan coming down the stretch. I think we're going to see a lot we seen last season where it's like, okay, you're not going to run on us And oh yeah, our secondary is a whole lot better, and guys won't be missing tackles, or falling down. So see
Hey,
that. So
speaking of that,
yeah.
Iggy, where was he at in leading? You got the stats up. Where's he at in leading in tackles, man? Because I think he was tied for second or tied
He
for
actually
first, really.
finished first in the game on tackles, 5 total
Yeah.
tackles, 3 solo, tied with Cody Simon for the top. So I mean, he's always in there, man. He's always mixing it up. The good thing about when he does give up catches, he'll tackle a guy right there, and they won't get more. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I would love
You
to
know
have
what?
him fill in for Cam Brown
Yeah,
last season.
I keep
If that's
thinking about that. I'm just like, we could have Iggy.
if that's a tackle, we're looking at a different game, baby. So yeah, man. No, this defense has been solid. I will give the defensive line a little bit of a pass. Still not quite getting. I'd love to get a little more on the sack game. I know they got a couple, but not a traditional sack. A little more of a coverage sack here or there. But definitely like to see it. But I thought it was a solid game by them. They are good in the run for the most part. Guys got to stay in their gaps, but I think it's a solid game, man. So let me take this moment. Say, go ahead, everybody, like the video. You're out there. Go subscribe to the channel. Mike is always here doing the post game. I'll usually be here, be me or Ron. We'll be here with him doing post game every Saturday. We got 2 more games in the season as far as the regular season goes, Minnesota and Michigan. So definitely look forward to those. Go ahead and subscribe. Let's blow this channel up. And we're from Best Damn Media. If you don't know, I'm sure you may know by now, but if you don't, Best Damn Media on YouTube. Travel over there. We got another show tomorrow morning with the whole crew. It's always a fun time. So make sure you check that out. And yeah, man. So couple of things I want to touch on here. So let's do the fun one first. Let's talk about the young guys here, man.
Yeah.
Let's keep the fun rolling. So we saw a lot of young guys showing up. We Carnell Tate again making an impact. Jelani Thurman looking like a freak show out there. I was talking to you right before the show. I'm like, how does this guy not play? Like you telling me he can't go block a defensive end at 250, almost 260? Like just have him stand in front of somebody. Jermaine Matthews again shows them. Malik Hartford, man. Give me some young guys, man. Give me your takes on them. A lot of them out here in this game making plays.
Yeah, man. Jelani Thurman, bro. That dude, I mean, honestly, we know it's not a physicality issue. So it just has to be, he ain't grasped the playbook yet. But that dude is going to be a force. I've seen like 3 to 5 guys trying to bring him down, and then he just wasn't having it. So I'm just excited for the future with this team, man. We got to see Lincoln Kingholz come out there, which was kind of shocking. Not seeing Devin Brown out there, hearing that Devin Brown was good, but Lincoln Kingholz was making routine throws because that's all that they was really asking him to do. I like that. Freshman to freshman, building that chemistry in game. I like it, and Carnell Tate just continues to be consistent. And we also just got to find a way to get him on the field more. I mean, I don't think the guy has dropped a pass since earlier in the season, if I'm not mistaken. And like he's certain every time. Like I don't see him out there making too many mistakes. I mean, if the only issue is him run blocking and stuff, I'm not worried about that on third downs and stuff like that. Like on third and long, make sure that Tate is out there because I really think that he's a weapon. And if they want to bracket Marv, shoot, you got another weapon who I think can take the top off of defense too.
Yeah, man. I'll start with Lincoln Kingholz, man. I thought he had one of the best balls I seen of the day. The throw to Ballard in the end zone, it would have been a tough catch because it was just good coverage by the DB. And Ballard would have had to make a one-handed left-hand catch. It would have been crazy if he did, but I thought that was a really good ball, man. Lincoln looked comfortable, man. He looked comfortable back there, and I gotta throw some criticism to Ryan Day, man. He's got to stop shutting down the offense, and then we'll jump into that a little later. It's one of my points, but I thought Lincoln played well. Carnell Tate, like you said, he comes out. He plays extremely well. Have no complaints about him learning to block those things. I would have loved to see a little bit of Ennis, but Jelani Thurman again looking like a freak show. And then we get over to the defensive side, man. Gabe Powers, hadn't seen him. This is the first time. I thought him and CJ Hicks look freaky, man. They're flying. Those guys just have elite athleticism. Calvin Hunt getting out there. Jermaine Matthews again still looks the park, and Malik Hartford in the back end. I just think the young guys on the team, this is where you want it. You want to be able to put teams away early and have your young guys step up, because next season those reps are really going to matter when you don't have the initial guys out there. So definitely shout out to the young guys. I thought they played extremely well, and it's good to see them. And it's always fun, man. It's something we look forward to every Saturday of like, all right, like we know we should go out and smack this team, and we haven't, quite put up the points I thought we would have in games this season. But that's what I look forward to, man. I'm like, I want to see the young guys get in there and ball. Like, CJ Hicks, recruit 5-star, Mr. All. Like, let me go see him play, man. Come on, give me something.
Yeah, for sure, man. And like I've been saying, man, the future is just so bright for BIA. Watching these young guys like what Jermaine Matthews is doing, and Calvin Simpson Hunt, and then even just seeing them guys on special teams. And we were talking about it. Like, I'm like, why am I seeing all these older guys running down here on special teams like as gunners? Where's those young guys at? Like, those young guys who was you see a Jermaine Matthews down there, you see a Calvin Simpson Hunt running down there, and they just got that different energy, right? Those other young guys bring that different energy. Why? Because they getting on the field, right? Because they fresh, because they not tired, because they ready to show out, and they want to prove you, coach. They want to prove you. Hey, there's a reason why you need to get me on that field a little bit more. So allow them to do that, man. Special teams is the way to it. Urban Meyer used it that way. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll end up probably talking about special teams for about 30 minutes tomorrow with Ron, for sure. We'll save that for tomorrow.
And I don't mind veteran guys, gunning on special teams, but I do mind veteran guys gunning and not making a tackle or getting juked out by the Indiana returner 5 times. Yeah. Okay, if they're gonna do that, you can put anybody in there and miss a tackle. Like, it's possible for anybody to do. So let's go that route. So I want to wrap up, and we got still a few minutes here, so no rush here. Everybody continue to drop your takes, but I want to know some points for us to work on. We got obviously 2 games coming up. Minnesota next week, the big time game in a couple weeks here. So there's always room to get better. We are fans. We are highly critical. We always find something to complain about. So I want to take some time out here. Also, make sure you like the video while we're in here, man. Appreciate y'all joining and rolling with us in this post-game report, man. So things to work on, man. So I'll start. I'll throw one. Mike, you can throw one, and we'll kind of go back and forth here. Something most definitely I had a complaint about is, and this goes a little further, is just Ryan Day shedding down the offense and not getting these guys fluid. And this is why I bring this up. And this is a little bit of my concern here. Now I'll start with this. I feel like at the end of the season, because we're in the Big Ten, and it is so hard, and we've seen in 2019, the best team in the nation all the way until the final week of the season. For some, they'll find some reason kind of to bump us. And if we go and we beat, Michigan, we should look like we have the best resume in the country. But I still feel like with some of these games where we linger around and have not really put up points and kind of shed the offense down, it's going to come at the cost of us. They may be like, well, Georgia beat Vanderbilt by 50. Why didn't you beat Michigan by 50? So and getting to see the young guys as well, the young wide receivers. I want to see them go out, run routes, and catch ball. That's something that I just don't simply like. So that's a little bit of a criticism I had. I want to see us run the offense, man. Lincoln Holtz. We saw his highlight. I want to see him do it. So that's the first start as criticism. Mike, I'll throw it to you. What would you like to see us work on?
Man, I would like to I really would like to see us work on some of our situational on defense. And I don't like how we're playing off on some of the cornerback stuff. Like, we know he's about to throw it as a slant. Why are you not allowing the DBs to be up there to stop the damn slant that gives them the first down? 35. So it's like, oh yeah, you want a first down? We'll give you this one. Like, I hate that. Like, I do want to see us just go ahead, be stingy, greedy, because I feel like we got the guys to do it. Like, I understand you don't want the guys to be manned up all game, got to play some zone. But stop just giving the guys, like, the people the first. Like, I don't want to seem like, oh, I'm just giving my ops an opportunity. I don't ever want to see that. So I do hope that we get better in situational. Maybe we're doing this. Jim knows is like, hey, I'm not really in my bag right now. Like this, my little bag. Like I got my big bag waiting later in November. Maybe that's the thing. So,
yeah, well, we will play off this. Hopefully.
I hope so.
Another one I'll throw to you. I've had this criticism for weeks, man. Punt return. This is a segment of special teams. I won't take it all, but man, I almost had to pat myself on the back. I thought Ballard almost had one, man. The last guy on the TV monitor got his legs. He made two guys miss, and I thought he was going to go to the house on one. But punt return, man, for so long at Ohio State, it has been a weapon, especially when Urban Meyer was here, punt return and getting a guy back. And we haven't had a return in the punt game since Jalen Marshall in 2014, which is just way, way too long. I know Mecca had one called back, but I would love to see a weapon, especially with a dynamic guy, but we don't block it at all, man. It's like if Ballard was to try to return it, he's going to have to make three guys miss to even have 5 yards of space to make something work. That's something I would love to see as weaponized, especially – we saw Mecca back there earlier in the season. He looked distant. He's like, man, I don't want to do this no more. I'm a junior now. Like it's my time to go be Garrett Wilson and not in the punt return game at wide receiver. So that's something I would love to see. I think it would help this team a bunch to sort of weaponize our special teams, especially return. So punt return, kick return is something I would like to see. But I want to see us block better on punt return game. That's my next little mini criticism of a 38-3 victory.
Yeah. Hey, I feel it. I want to see us consistently get all of the wide receivers involved. I'm watching other teams around the country just continue to be able to get other wide receivers involved. And, me and you was talking off air, and we was just talking about, man, hey, he's going to damn sure throw it to Marvin. He damn sure going to throw it to Cade. So, I really want to see other guys being utilized like Emeka. I think that Emeka is special. He was able to get close or did have 1,000 yards last year. Like he's we need to be using him. I feel like I said earlier, I think that there's opportunities out there for Carnell Tate. I want to see that. So hopefully next week against Minnesota, they can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, man. Emeka one catch for 12 yards this game, and you think Cade? Let me see how many Marv had. I know Cade had 7. Marv had 7. That's 14 touches right there between the two of them. Really, everybody. Travion Henderson, Jelani Thurman, Carnell Tate all outpaced Emeka. Chip as well, and Julian. This guy, he's supposed to come in as the second best receiver in college football, which is hard to do when you play next to the best wide receiver in college football and get the looks, get the stats. And they have gone out their way to get Marv Disbelinnikov, as we talked about it, and get him all the stats in the world. But, we know there's more than one wide receiver on this team, man. There's more than one or two weapons here, and I know you want to spread it out, but Emeka has to be a guy. we look at, Florida State. They got Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman. They both touched the ball. They both get plenty of targets, and that is they weren't there today as far as being a good offense, but that's traditionally a really good offense with a good weapons. They're running back.
Out in Washington.
Yeah. The running back at Florida State is explosive, man. I seen him. I was like, whoa, like this dude, he's got something. But yeah, man, I would love to see Emeka. You have to get him 5 touches a game at least. You'd be like, look, Emeka's not touching the ball. I'm getting him 3 more touches off that, and he'll go get another 2 in the pass game. So you got to find.
He had 2 targets in this game, I think.
I can't see the target list, but yeah, I remember one. It was a flag, and then this one that he had a catch.
He had a catch on. Yeah, that's the only 2 I remember. Yeah.
Just not enough. We got to give him the ball, and that's definitely a good criticism on that. He has, because in the Michigan game, they're going to do everything in their power to take away Marv. And if I was them, I would double down on Marv and Cade and be like, look, guys, I'm going to be standing right here every time, so you're going to throw about 3 picks if you just stare these guys down and throw them the ball. So that's how I would play it. But with guys like Tate and Emeka and Travion in the pass game, other guys, we got to spread this out a little bit. So that's something I would see. So we'll save more our criticism for tomorrow. We got a big time talk, but want to say, everybody, appreciate you rolling with us. Definitely like that video. Mike, I'll throw it to you. Closing thoughts, man. We got Michigan in a couple weeks. Like I said, just don't screw it up. Let's keep it rolling. We got Minnesota next week, game we'll be looking forward to continue to go out and play good ball. What's your thoughts of wrapping up this Saturday? We now stand at 10-0, tied at first in the Big Ten, number one team in the country, they say, until they switch us with Georgia. So,
right.
Your thoughts so far on the game and where we're going?
I just think, like I said in the beginning, the areas that we needed to see Kyle improve on is hitting guys in stride, making those throws to the guys that are wide open and allowing them to be able to make plays. And I know a lot of people are going to sit here and say, "Oh, it was just Michigan State," but when I listen to what I'm saying, I wanted him to hit the guys who were wide open. Right? That it doesn't matter who you are playing. I wanted him to hit someone in stride. It doesn't matter who you're playing. He did that. And what I guess going forward, what I just want to see is him build on that. Go ahead, be that Cardell Jones, or you had that Zeke moment. Build on it. Continue to build on it. Stack it. And lead this team to to the championship, man. Allow Marv, hey, flat out, straight up, Kyle. Marv, your homie. He your homie. He want to go play in Indy. Make it happen, McCord.
That's great statement right there, man. Couldn't have said it better. Yeah. Looking forward to this team. I just want to see some consistency. I think defense has been there all year. Jim knows again, and his big challenge will be, even though I don't think he really had a bad game plan going against Michigan last year, his big challenge, that's what he'll be judged by, be against the Michigan game. But again, has been solid throughout the season. Not much complaints on this defense. Is level up in the secondary. Is having us primed to look to really make a run here no matter who we're playing. And this is a very open season for college football. We look at Florida State, I brought them up earlier, close game with Miami, who we know is not a great team. Like we know for a fact now, man. It's a Jekyll and Hyde performance every week where they almost lose to Virginia and things like that. So Florida State looks beatable. I mean, Georgia, they're looking to start to hit their stride here, so they're definitely going to be there down the stretch. But as far as this season goes, I feel like it's wide open for anybody in this sort of top 8 in college football, maybe top 7, top 8, to really make a run at this in the last few weeks of the season. So we just got to continue to play good ball. The defense has been playing well. Offense looked better tonight. I want to see that consistency moving in next week. Kyle puts in another performance next week where he looks good throwing the ball. He's hitting guys. I'm like, okay, maybe I ain't going to call him Hellcat McCord. Like, we're not going to do that.
But all I was saying is I put a tweet in our group. I mean, I had put a message in our group, and I said, "Did Honda come out with a new McCord?" But I do want to ask you, right now, you watched this Ohio State team. Looked like they took a step in the right direction. Do you feel scared about the last game of the regular season for Ohio State?
Yeah, we didn't touch on that.
Feel nervous, or are you less nervous going into that game?
Yeah, we didn't touch on that. I was supposed to. We did have a Michigan fan here earlier. Just impressions of watching Penn State and Michigan. Obviously, man, the Big Ten in general does not seem to have a lot of offensive performance, man. It just seems to be lackluster. So with the defense we have and the way I think Jim Knowles is going to play this final game, I'm not worried. Like, I would say it is a 50-50 coin flip. I'm not going to say we got to go in there and smack them. The offense hasn't backed me up enough to go and say that confidence. But very winnable game, man. I mean, we have weapons that no one else, and this is just part of being at Ohio State. We have weapons nobody else in the Big Ten has. No one else has a Jelani Thurman just waiting to come out there, and we're like, the hell is that?
What is
that? Not a lot of teams have weapons like that, or guys that they would think are the 2 best receivers in college football coming into the season. So we just got to continue to put it together. Like Mike said, hit the open guy. I've seen Mecca a couple of times running in this game where he just went to Marv because it's Marv, and it's like, well, Mecca's open. Like, you gotta dish him the ball too. So I have confidence going into this game. I think the defense, hopefully the safety play, stays at the level it is. Hopefully the Josh Proctor is back. I don't know about Lathan Ransom yet. We'll see. But going into that, man, I am confident. I'm not scared at all. I think it will be one of those games where we are going to be nervous riding into the third in the fourth quarter, which isn't a bad thing because this is the biggest rivalry in college football. This is what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be nervous, 5 minutes ago, like shit, who's gonna make a play and who's gonna, have that breakout
If
moment.
we were to lose that game, how do you think we would lose that game?
Oh, if we would lose that game, I would say, we traded in the Hellcat for the Honda again. I think Kyle McCord would have to really put together a not good performance and done some of the things he's done. And I've been clamoring, man. I would think like, man, if we and at times this season, I'm like, man, if we just had like Tua's little brother or something, like we would tear up college football. We just need a decent quarterback, but you gotta back your guy, man. You got to back your guy. I got faith in Kyle. He's gonna shut me up. He's gonna put in a good performance. But if we were to lose, I would think the defense holds Michigan to 20, 25 points, maybe 27, and we couldn't score 30. That's the way I think we would lose. And I think that's any team we go against if we can't get those points into the 30s, because now it's that time where points come at a premium. That's how this team is beatable.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not even going to answer because honestly, you said it all. Like you said it, everything that I would have said. So I mean, that's how I feel. I was watching that. I wasn't impressed by. I mean, we already knew about Penn State's offense, and I'm really not impressed by either team. So, and the crazy thing is, a lot of people are going to sit here and say, "Oh, well, we can go ahead and compare." Ohio State, Penn State to the team up north, and it's just like, go ahead. I want to say my starting running back wasn't in there, and I want to say, okay, I had a starting wide receiver not in there. I could keep going down the list of how many guys I didn't have in there, but that's neither here nor there. I just feel like we have those guys, and as long as this team has the confidence from the top down, and Kyle walks in there with confidence and not on that nervous stuff like he was in Penn State game. Shit, this Ohio State.
Yeah, if Michigan plays at the level they played today against Penn State, there's no way we lose to them. Yeah. I expect a much better game from them. I expect their level to raise up. It's a rivalry game. I felt like last year we were the better team, and clearly the better team did not show up, and they take credit to them. But you see later in the season, it's like, well, how did we lose to them? Like, this team is clearly at a better level, but that's rivalry games, man.
Well, there's an investigation to figure out your question going on right now. I'm just saying. All of your questions are going to be answered soon enough, young man.
Regardless of that, man, I just felt like we were the better team. It's like, this performance has got to be better. So, yeah, that does play a big role, but if that was not the case, I felt like a better team should have showed up. So that's a great point. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Again, man, appreciate MarkRogersTV for having us. We are from Best Damn Media. If you don't know, we have a show pretty much every week. We're here every post game. So check us out, 8 a.m. Eastern every morning during the week. We have the Buckeye Roast with me and Ron, or sometimes you see Chris and Ron. So it's Ron and somebody will be on the Buckeye Roast in the morning. Mike and Cam do a national show every Wednesday, the Fans Edge. They have rotating 7:30. Yeah, 7:30 have rotating guests up there. So most def check them out. They cover everything. So you don't have to be just an Ohio State fan to show for any college football game, any big time games that are out there. They're going to talk about it. They'll have good guests on there and everything. And then tomorrow at 10 a.m. Buckeye BS every Sunday. It's a great show, man. If you, especially too, not just for us, we get to do it together. We have a great time, but the chat is always bumping, man. If you want to go in there and just talk ball with people, we have Punk show up a lot of times. He's a Georgia fan. Yeah. He just loves the interaction. We get Gmo sometimes. He's a Miami fan. So it's just a good place to talk college football. So if you're looking for people to talk college football with, man, show up on Sundays. The chat will be bumping. Definitely check us out there at Best Damn Media here on YouTube. You can find us there. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us everywhere. But, Mike, I'll give you those words, man. Let everybody know where they can find you. I just plugged us a lot, but they want to just talk to me. They don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to Ron. They want to talk to you. Where can they find you at?
Yeah, man. You can find me on social media at 216_Wildboy. Like Q said, you can catch me on Wednesdays at 7:30 Eastern time, right there on the Best Damn Media Network. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know when we go live, man. Blow up them chats. It's always a good time. Also, if you don't like all the pageantry of college game day and stuff like that, you just want something with good vibes, nice, chill football talk, make sure you join us at Best Damn Media as well. You can find us there for the pregame show every morning. And like I said, man, Buckeye BS every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern, because that show is wild.
Yeah, we always. I've clipped a couple of moments of last week. We had some crazy moments in there, man. This is a good hangout time. I did forget to plug the Saturday morning pregame show. Chris and Ron do a great job on that, and have various guests from around the country to talk ball. So basically, check that out. If you want to find me, I'm not hard to find. I'm City Boy Quitting on Twitter. I had people a lot of times shoot me a DM, talk ball and things like that, have conversations. So hit me a follow, message me, let me know. I'm Flying at Johnson on Instagram, so I'm very easy. And like I said, 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, we'll all be there for Buckeye BS, and we'll have a great time reacting to this and just gearing up, man. Definitely, we're down the stretch here, man. We got 2 weeks left. College football, everything is at stake. This is where you want to be in college football. Everything is at stake. We got 2 weeks left in the season. You know, a lot of good teams around the nation. You got Alabama still in it, Georgia still in it, we're still in it, Michigan's still in it. You know, Texas is sleeping down there. So let's see if they'll wake up before the end of the season. Washington's out there doing big things. Hey, appreciate the follow, Donald. Yeah, come through tomorrow, man. I promise you, it's a good time.
For sure.
The energy is unmatched over there, and we do argue with each other a lot. So you ain't gonna get the same take from everybody. We have plenty of times to debate in the show. So check us out. But yeah, everybody,
it's all love, all love.
Will, Sean, who was in here, man, I definitely appreciate y'all. Everybody who came through, appreciate you hanging out with us. Catch us tomorrow. Mike, got any final words for the people?
Nah, man, keep supporting the Bucks, man, and OH.
Yo, catch y'all next time.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.